So you intend to estimate a population mean with a confidence interval. You believe the population to have a normal distribution. Your sample size is 6. Now notice that's a tiny sample size, so it's important for us to believe that the population is normally distributed. Otherwise, we'd be sunk with such a small sample size. We need to make it much larger. So, but in this case, sample size 6, normal distribution. So we need a t-score that corresponds to the confidence level of 99.9%. And remember, we're using a t-value here because we don't know the standard deviation of the population. So we're going to be estimating it with s instead of sigma. So therefore, we've got a t-score. So all we need to do is find the t-value for this particular confidence level. So remember, 99.9%, right? So that means 99 or 0.999, that is the proportion of the data that's inside the interval. So we're going to go 1 minus the 0.999, right? So that's 0.001. I don't need a calculator for that. So this is 0.001. But that's the area under the curve that's in these two tails, right? So that's 0.001, but it's in both tails, so I have to cut that in half. So I'll take the 0.001, I'll divide that by 2, and I get 0.0005. So that's the proportion for this upper tail probability. So now I know that this t-score corresponds to the 0.9995, the 99.95 percentile. So I need to look up either on the chart or in the calculator to find that particular t-score. So I'll do it on the chart first. Let's make sure that we can see that. So we know that the sample is size 6, so we're going to go to a sample of size 6. But if the sample is size 6, how many degrees of freedom do we have, right? So I have 1 less degree of freedom than the sample size. So I've got to go to 5 degrees of freedom. And then I go over to, notice down here it says 99.9 percentile. That's for the confidence level, so 0.999, so that's right. Notice up here, the upper tail probability is given to be the 0.0005, which is what I calculated out right there. So either go to that information or go down here to the bottom where I know what the confidence level is. So run my finger up until I get to the number of degrees of freedom. So therefore the t-score is 6.869. So this t-score value out here is equal to 6.869 standard deviations. Or, to save on postage, you can always do it in the calculator. Now remember, if you don't have one of the newer calculators, if you've got one of the older ones, they won't do this. You'll have to use the table. But on the new ones, we're going to go to inverse t, and we're going to enter in the area, so that's going to be the 0.0005, and then do the degrees of freedom. So 5 degrees of freedom, and paste it in. And notice I got the negative answer here because I entered in the 0.0005. If I wanted to get the positive answer, which is what I really wanted, then I'm going to go, the area is 0.9995, the degrees of freedom is 5, and we paste it in there. Inverse t, and we get 6.868. And we're good.